Alrighty guys, as the Caribbeans in the Dragon Ball Legends ToP guide video is going to be for season 103. I know it's like super late, so I'm going to try to get these videos out back to back for you guys. So going to do the guide video, parts 1 and 2, all that good stuff. Part 2 might actually come out a little bit earlier for you guys, so you guys can be a little bit ahead of the game. And I'll just like edit in an image for the last fight on what the attack order is going to actually be here. So last season we did end off at rank 2,804, so we did get the top cut unexpectedly, and we were using the new Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I actually think he's a really good unit. I think my consensus on it is, and I think this is more of an opinion base, especially since I don't have him at an equal amount of stars. I do think Beast Gohan is better than the Goku, but the mini Goku, the green one, the Zenkai one, he was phenomenal. I think he's going to be, he actually has become one of the main units on one of the teams that we're going to show later on in the video. So speaking of that, there will always be timestamps in the description down below. That way you guys can go ahead and get to where you need to go. And also, shout out to doomgeta, Aflac, and the entire Discord server for making these videos as good as they are to help you guys out, to help out the community in general. If you want to show them some love and support, I'll be linking two Discords in the description down below. One of them is going to be personally owned by doomgeta, and the other one is going to be the official Dragon Ball Legends Discord server, where you can, in both of those servers, you're going to be able to get help for TOP if additional help is necessary. And one thing I always do like to tell you guys is to get your friendship rank up, right? So a friendship rank is going to directly increase your stats in TOP specifically. Here are, and you do want to max it out at friendship rank 10. So I'm going to show you guys a little side-by-side from this Beast Gohan at friendship rank 10, his stats compared to his regular stats. One of the most important stats in TOP is your key restore speed, and so you're going to see an increase in that specifically, because key restore speed does dictate where you're going to be attacking your attack order specifically. So if you have a higher key restore speed, you might attack first. If you have a really low key restore speed, you might attack last. So next thing we will be mentioning here is our pathing. So you guys already know the deal. Left side is going to be part 1, right side is going to be part 2, since we do split the board up into 2 halves right here. On the first half, you do have some alternate pathings right here. The alternate path is just for sometimes it's for easier fights, sometimes it's for harder fights, but more points overall, right? So it's definitely going to be a question for you guys whether or not you want to take the alternate fights. For the most part, I always just stick to the main, just the regular pathing. And there's going to be 3 difficult fights in the first half and 4 difficult fights in the second half. And the second half also does have some alternate options as well. And this pathing is always color coded for you guys. That way you guys can kind of get like a gist of where your bonus is going to take into place. Like for the first half, I always tell you guys you don't really need to bring in your boost units. There's not really too much of a significant point in it, because your boost percentage in the first 14 fights doesn't go past 50. The highest percentage boost you're going to get is on fight 10, where it gets to 50%, but even then it's not necessarily a need to bring in your high tiers. But once you hit fight 15 all the way to 25, that's when you want to start bringing out your S tiers and your Z tiers. And then next we do have the color wheel right here. So this is pretty helpful for those of you who are crafting your teams. You need replacement units, and then you're kind of just trying to see what color you might need the most. So for reds, there's 7 threatening reds, 4 threatening yellows, 2 threatening purples, 6 threatening greens, and 13 threatening blues. So just looking at this, you're gonna want a strong green unit, right? Especially because there's not a lot of purple, so it's like there's no downside to bringing in a good couple of strong greens right here. And then next we do have the cover predictions. This is actually pretty more balanced. Usually when we look at this, we always see blast teams have the clear-cut advantage in terms of managing those cover changes. But for this season, it's 14 strike cover changes versus 10 blast cover changes, which isn't too steep of a gap as it usually is, right? So we can go ahead and kind of like tread around that easily. So I would say both strike and blast teams are on equal grounds this season, even though it's not exactly 14 to 14 or 10 to 10, but I feel like this is a lot more even ground than we usually have. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're going to actually go up against this season. So for your first fight that you go up against is this Majin Buu Saga. Your high priority units are going to be both of the Deborahs. I know that sounds kind of crazy, especially considering there's a more recent unit here of the Fui, but the blue Deborah, he stuns you on turn 2, and the red Deborah, he has a lot of support for his units, or for his team specifically. So yeah, just get both of those units out of the way before turn 2 would be absolutely ideal here. Next, you do have this fight. I actually almost forgot about this fight. I wasn't going to mention it, but the Goku Bardock unit, they have a ability similar to the Ultra Instinct Goku, the Ultra Instinct Goku, I guess you could say. Let's go ahead and take a look at his kit, actually. So what he does is after receiving a special move, Awakened, or Ultimate Arts attack, he restores his own health by 10%, and he gets 100% to his own special move gauge, meaning if you super attack him and you don't kill him with that super attack / ultimate, whatever it is, he's going to super attack you right back. So you do have to be concerned with that. As for his key restore speed, it's not bad. It's 2,402, right? So he's not going to be attacking last. You have to make sure you're pretty cautious about this guy. Doom has been hit by this. Then we have this fight right here. I don't think any of these units are necessarily going to destroy your units. Obviously, there is some recency units here, like the Mini Goku, and that dude is pretty good in terms of support, providing key restore speed. You might see these guys attacking faster than your units normally. All right, it's going to be because of that Mini Goku. The Super Saiyan 3 Kid Goku is going to be stunning one of your units. This guy has debuffs for the left and the right side of your team, so I mean, you can't avoid all of that, right? And then this guy, I do believe he has a blast mitigation. Next, you have this Ginyu Force team, just the tag units. Just take out the tag units. There's no revival here, so tag units, and then you can just mow down the rest pretty easily. Alternatively, you do have this fight. I would say just be mindful, strike team specifically, because this Android 18 is debuffing your strike damage. So you'll definitely be wondering why the hell they're so tanky. Even when I use blast teams, this team feels tanky to go up against. So for this next fight, this is one of our hard fights. High priority here is definitely going to be that green DKP. He's debuffing one enemy on turn 1, then debuffs the team on turn 2, etc, etc. And then the free-to-play Bulma, the blue one, debuffs teams on blast attack. Next, you have this Battle of Gods fight. Beerus is going to be your highest priority here, since he's going to stun you on turn 2. This Whis, this is the free-to-play Whis and not the premium Whis. I actually prefer fighting the premium Whis, because even though he does stun you on turn 2, he's not really doing much outside of that. This Whis is debuffing our key restore speed like crazy, so it is pretty annoying to go up against that guy. One of your alternate fights does include this one right here, where it's just the kids, I suppose. I mean, can you consider this guy a kid? I could definitely see Cell Jr. He's a kid, right? He's a junior. This guy, he's just tiny. That's it. But Goten, anyways, he gets a super attack on turn 2. Make sure you get him out of the way, and Pan as well. So Pan and Goten, if you can kill the Pan turn 1 and then get the Goten before he super attacks as well, I think that's your best case scenario. And then this team might look a little bit intimidating because they all have pink hair, but it's not that bad. You just go for the Amon. He's very, very recent. This Kiawe also is pretty recent. She I would say she does a decent amount of damage as well. And then the Purple 21 can do some heavy damage if you let her stay alive long enough, especially once she transforms. Now we have another difficult fight. This is the second difficult fight of the first half, by the way. So you definitely are going to want to save a blue card for this one. This is going to be a little bit rough. So Blue Beast is going to be high priority since he has insane damage. He's going to be strong against your PO units. You have to kill the Red Beast Gohan before he transforms, because then his stats go through the roof. The free-to-play Super Saiyan Gohan debuffs your team if you have a PO unit. I would say those are the big three. And then for your last unit, you are going to go for the low priority units is going to be the EX Blue Gohan and the Future Gohan. And then another one of your alternate fights right here, basically another Resurrection F fight. So this one does have the premium Whis over the free-to-play Whis. So this guy will stun you on turn 2, just get him out of the way. And then this Vegeta has a blast mitigation. Alright, so for this fight, the purple Gohan is going to be a high priority. He's going to be debuffing your middle column and middle row on turn 1. The Fusion Super Vegito, I would say, is probably even a higher priority than that guy, because he has to be killed before turn 3. Because that's when he transforms. You don't want to let him do that. That's your 2 high priorities. And then for mid priority, probably the Supreme Kai, the Yellow 18 Kid Buu, and then the last unit is going to be the Evil Buu. Pretty much all of these guys can be a threat in some way, shape, or form. And then this fight's pretty easy right here too. The only unit that I would take note of is going to be this this android. The screen. I always forget if he's 14 or 15, maybe 15. I want to say 15. He does have death buffs for his allies, so just take him out last. So this one actually looks a little bit annoying as well. This is Universe Reps fight. So there's double stunners here. So you have a stun on turn 2 from this Roshi and a stun on turn 2 from the TN. If you have to prioritize which one to take out, you're unsure if you can take both of them out in one turn. That would be turn 1, right? this TN. I would go for the TN because not only is he stunning you on turn 2, but he's also super attacking you on turn 2. So I'd rather kill him and just eat 1 stun rather than killing the Roshi, avoiding his stun, and then getting super attacked by the TN, you know what I mean? And then Krillin, you do want to go for him last because he's super tanky, and if you take too long to actually finish him off, he will build up that super attack. Then you have this fight. I would say high priority here is going to be the tag droids, MVP 17, and then going for this purple 17 last just because he has the barrier mechanic. This one is another fight. Well, this is, first of all, this is a difficult fight, and another fight where it's recommended to save a blue card for this fight. So high priority, obviously, Buu tanks. Turn 1 super attack. You got to get him out of the way, bro. And then the Ultra Buu has high damage, usually strike cover change for someone. And then mid priority would be the Super Buu since he stuns a unit on turn 3. The Buu Han, the red one, he has a strike cover for someone usually. And then low priority would be the Legends Limited Kid Buu. And then the last unit you go for is the Evil Buu. And that pretty much concludes it. It doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a lot of repeat fights in here. Like you're going up against the Buu Tanks team a couple times. You're going against the Buu Saga for both of the boss fights right here, this one and this one. And then there's an alternate fight where you can come across this fight if you're trying to get a little bit greedy, get some extra points right here, but I'm probably not going to do that. But now let's go ahead and move on to the top teams for the season. Before we do that, I'm going to insert the graphic right here where it's going to show the key/guide. In case any of you guys are confused on any of the icons that are going to be used in the following graphics, please refer to this image right here. This will let you know all the details of the icons and their meanings. All right, so the first team we are going to be talking about is Sagas from the movies. This is the team I'm going to be using. This is the first time I've ever used this team. So if I completely shit the bed with this team, I apologize in advance. I don't have the optimal version of this team. Instead of the magenta, it would be more optimal for you to have the God Goku as seen in the graphic right there. Unfortunately, the person who made this team did not have God Goku either, so we had to go ahead and edit him in. But he is usable at 7 stars and above. For your core units, you do have the red pan, your HP buffer. For your boost units, you have a Z and an S for that 30%. You have the Z tier yellow Broly and the S tier Android 13, the free-to-play one. And then for the rest of the team, you have triple Beast Gohan. That alone is going to be enough for your damage. And not only do you have that, you have the red pan, right, also providing support for Gohan units for debuffs for the enemy team. And then you have Garlic Jr. as well, making sure we don't get stunned. Garlic Jr. is going to help make sure that there's going to be a lot of stunners this season, right? And so we can kind of bypass that because he's able to just cancel that effect, which is going to be good. Plus, Garlic Jr., we've only ever used him on blast-based teams, and we were kind of nerfing him by doing that because on the 3rd turn, he's transformed. When he uses a strike arts, he has a 100% chance to follow it up with another strike arts, right? So we were kind of holding him back a little bit by putting him on the blast-based regeneration team for that long time. Next, we have Sagas from the movies, the blast-based version. I probably do have to try out this team eventually. But I want to try it out once I get that Goku Piccolo unit, the tag unit down there. For your core unit, you do have the yellow Roshi. That's your HP Z ability buffer. For your backup units, you have a Z and an S tier. For the 30%, you have the Z tier Bardock. I know a lot of you guys might not have that guy. I definitely don't have that guy. If you don't have that guy, you're going to have to do 3 S tiers, unfortunately. So you're probably going to have to sub out one of the units on the main roster. I honestly don't know who I would swap out here because I still want the double stuns. I want the debuffs from the free-to-play Broly. I honestly just get the Piccolo out of the way, the Awakened Piccolo, and put another S tier in there, personally. I mean, unless you do want to give up one of the stuns. That Piccolo support is good. He's just squishy for me. He has good damage. I'm not denying that. He's squishy for me. So anyways, you do have S tier options to choose from, no other Z tier options to choose from. That's the only thing that I would say is bad about this team for this season. But again, yeah, I kind of already went over the units. Double stuns, debuffs from the Broly, support from the Piccolo, and then damage from the tag unit. So now let's take a look at Saiyans. This is going to be the blast-based version right here. No core units. So there's not a unit on this team that absolutely needs to be here for you to find success with this team. For your boost units, you do have Fasha and the Bardock. Fasha is pretty good because she stuns a unit upon hitting them with the blast arts. So you can kind of just, whoever you're targeting, make sure they don't get a hit for that turn and just finish them off, right? It's pretty good. And then you have the Z tier Bardock. Again, Bardock is a hard unit to have in your box. There is options for your Z tier replacement though. You have both of the baby Vegetas, you have the Raditz, and you do have the Nappa. All of those units should be 14 star though. Those units can be pretty frail, or even the blue Kale right there too. The blue Kale is pretty good, but then you would have double blues as your boost units, so definitely keep that in mind. As for the team, you have the Transcendent Kamehameha Buu Duo. That's probably one of the most important units here. Big damage, very good for cleanup. You have the double tag unit with the Trunks Vegeta, the Evo Ken. You have the Zenkai Bardock right here, the Zenkai double UI Gokus. Oh, that's going to be really good for damage mitigation overall. Next, we do have Strike Saiyans. So again, no core unit here. For your boost units, you do have an S tier and a Z tier. Your S tier unit is also a healer unit though, so I think that's always pretty valuable to have, right? A little bit of insurance, extra safety there. And then you have the Z tier base Broly. You have a guaranteed super attack turn 2 with the Zenkai Kaioken Goku, or well, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. You have the tag unit Zenkai Blue Duo. You have one of the MUI Gokus, the red one, and then you have the tag 4s and the Nappa. Nappa has amazing debuffs, amazing. Next we have GT Blast. So you do have a core unit that's going to be core unit for both versions of this team. It's just going to be that Super Baby Vegeta. Healer, fantastic unit, just great overall. And then for your boost units, you do have the Z tier Green Trunks, another hard unit to come across, so you can go ahead and swap him out for the Baby Vegeta. I think would be the closest one-to-one. The Sparking Baby Vegeta, green that is. And then you have the S tier Sin Shinron right there. For the rest of the team, you have support / debuffs from the Zenkai Super Saiyan GT Vegeta. You have the Super 17 that absolutely goes crazy on yellow units. That guy's really good. And then I think the main debuffer here / support unit is that Hellfighter 17. That guy's really, really strong. You have a free-to-play unit, should be at 14 stars. And the Parasite Trunks is really strong against Hybrid / Saiyans. Next, we do have Strike Base. So core units still going to be that Super Baby 2. And then you have your boost units of the Red Baby. Red Baby, he's Z tier. Be careful with him. He only gets damage cut if he's up against a Saiyan enemy. This means that if there is one Saiyan enemy, as soon as you kill that Saiyan enemy, he loses that cut. So just be mindful of that. And then for your S tier, you have the yellow free-to-play Super 17. That guy's actually really good. I like him a lot. And then for the main team, you have a tag unit with the Frieza / Cell. And then you have the super attacker. Well, he's not a guaranteed super attacker, but kind of. Every other fight, he gets his super attack off because he gets 50% to his gauge of fight. The GT Kid Goku Zenkai. You have support from the Bola. Bola also is a pseudo healer. I just forgot to put the icon on her as a healer icon. You have the Pan there, and then you have the Tag Force. All right, next we do have event exclusive, your free-to-play team. So you have 3 S tiers here. You have the Kefla, Super Saiyan 2, you have the Red 18, and then you have Naval. Naval also doubles as a core unit since he does have amazing support for the team, and he is a pseudo healer for the team. Pui Pui is another core unit here because he's the max HP base, or the max HP Z ability buffer. And then you also have another healer here with the free-to-play 18. These are all free-to-play units, so all of them should be 14 stars right here. And you might notice that Tao, Cyborg Tao, is missing from the graphic. Unfortunately, he does not make the cut for this team because it does favor Blast. Tao has pretty significant strike stat difference between his Blast stat. So I don't think he would necessarily be better than a blue unit on this team. For example, like the blue Gohan or the blue Bulma. So we got LOE, double core units here. You got Chilled, max HPZ ability buffer, and then you have the Revival Frieza. That's just a phenomenal unit to have on your team, providing support, providing pseudo heals, and just having the revival aspect. Then for your Z tiers, your high tiers, you have a Z tier second form Frieza. And if you guys are unsure about that guy, if you have a 14 stars, he's usable, bro. Like, I've used him on my LOA team and he did fine. He did good even. Obviously, I did have to kind of like babysit him a little bit, always keep him by the blue Frieza for the pseudo heals, but he did good. And I think that's the most important thing here, right? And then for your S tier, you do have the blue metal cooler. Even if you wanted to swap out that Frieza for the Z tier, the red Frieza EX, you can do that too. And then obviously for the main team, you have triple stuns here. So LF Frieza has a stun, the Zenkai Cooler has a stun, the Red Frieza has a stun. It's really powerful. And then the Golden Frieza has to always be on a yellow tile. The yellow tile is going to grant him his ultimate arts rather than his guaranteed special move arts. And then the ultimate arts debuffs the enemy. So Golden Frieza, Golden Tile. That's what you just got to remember. Next, we do have the Frieza Force team. So pretty similar to the LOE team. Core units, you still have the Revival Frieza on there, support, pseudo heals, Revival unit. And then you have Naval. Doubles as one of your boost units. You're going to have 3 here for 30% S tier boost. Naval is support, pseudo heals, all that good stuff. He's really, really strong. And then for your other boost units, you have Raspberry, and then you have the Apul. Apul has support. Raspberry, I'm pretty sure he's more so just I do damage kind of unit. And then for the rest of the team, you have double stuns here. So the LF Frieza, and then, or the purple LF Frieza, and then the red Frieza. You have pretty good damage here with the Golden Frieza, right? Because he's also getting the Zenkai buff from the Legends Limited Yellow Frieza. Remember, Golden Frieza, Golden Tile. Always upgrade that special move arts to the ultimate arts. The ultimate arts stacks some debuffs onto the enemy team. And then we have Universe Reps Blast Based right here. This is, honestly, I really like this team a lot. Like, if someone came up to me and said like, hey dude, like I don't know what to run, I probably would recommend this team. I feel like this team is like pretty much always good. Sometimes their boost units are trash, which is a little bit unfortunate, but for the most part it can always get through. So for your core unit, you have Bergamo. That's going to be your HP Z ability buffer. You have 2 Z tiers here, so 40% over the 30%. So you might rank a little bit higher than some of your peers here. You have the Dispo Z tier, and then you have the Kale Z tier. And you have options as well. Like if you wanted to run the Kaba, Kaba is definitely a better green unit than that Dispo. You can do that if you want to sacrifice a little bit of your points right there, right? For the main team, you do have double stuns with the LF Jiren and then the Zenkai Topo. You have support from MVP 17. You have pseudo heals from the Kale. And then you have the Golden Frieza. Again, Golden Frieza, Golden Tile. Keep them on that at all times. Upgrade your special move arts. We do have androids. This is the blast-based version. First thing I'm going to say here is the Super 17. He can be replaced by your Ultra Cell if you do have the Ultra Cell. Super 17 is going to be the one on the graphic right here for the meantime, just because I have a feeling that most of you guys are going to have Super 17 rather than Ultra Cell, just because longevity of the game so far, right? Ultra Cell is pretty relevant, pretty new still. Some of you guys may have not even summoned on him at all. Some of you guys may have summoned on him but not gotten lucky. So 17 is going to remain on the graphic for now. That might change, you know, things change. For your boost units, you do have the Z tier purple 15, and then you have the S tier free to play 18. That purple 15, I would recommend him at 14 stars. He's very, very old. And then on the main team, you have MV17, you have the Gammas, you have a stun with the 21, the Zenkai 21. You have the new unit of the purple 17. If you don't have that purple 17, you can just go back to using the GT Hellfighter 17. That guy's still phenomenal as well. And then you have your Yellow Cell. Yellow Cell, that's the closest thing to a core unit you're going to have on this team. That dude, not only is he a pseudo healer, but he also is your max HP Z ability buffer. So he's bringing value to the table for sure. Next, we do have powerful opponents. I think this is probably going to be like the next team I try out. Maybe. I feel like this team's like looks pretty good, right? It looks very expensive though at the same time, just because you have ultras, or well, you have one ultra on the team, but you have like the Zenkais on the team. PO has always kind of been one of the more expensive tags, but for your core unit, you do have the yellow Broly from Second Coming. That dude is your HP Z ability buffer. You have Z tier Baby, and you have S tier 13. Remember, with the Baby, he's only getting the damage cut if he's up against a Saiyan opponent. If you kill a Saiyan opponent, and he's the only Saiyan opponent, you lose that damage cut. You have pseudo heals from the yellow Tapion, guaranteed super attack turn 1 from the Ultra Rose. That dude has a high key restore speed too, so that's huge. We've used the purple cell in our regeneration runs before. That guy is phenomenal. And same thing with the Zamasu, the corrupted Zamasu, phenomenal. Blue Goku Black, I've never used him, but his support is good from what I've heard. Next, we do have Regeneration. This is the blast-based version. right here. I do not have the new DKP. We're going to take a look at the DKP, don't worry. But if I do remember correctly, the new DKP, he is a melee based. So I don't know if he slides onto the blast base. We'll double check that at the end of the video though. Anyways, for your core unit here, Super Baby 2, never going anywhere. Like I've said, GT and Regeneration, that guy is just the mainstay. It doesn't matter. For your boost units, you have Z tier Nail, and then you have S tier Metal Cooler. Our Metal Cooler has been demoted to S tier. Usually that's one of our Z tiers right there, right? But you do have replacement options, a lot of replacement options actually, even including some Zenkai units in there. So you should be fine if you guys do need to replace some of those out. Just remember you do want that 30%. For the main team, you do have Bootangs, guaranteed super attack. You have Yellow Piccolo, Legends Limited, guaranteed super attack on turn 3. Corrupted Zamasu builds up super attack very, very fast, very efficiently. And then you have DKP for the debuffs. And the purple cell, the Zenkai cell, that guy works on both teams, on Strike and Blast, even though he probably would be better off on a Strike team. He can work on both. And honestly, I do think that the better cell here, instead of him, would be the other Legends Limited cell. The one that's still purple, but he actually is a blast, a ranged unit. But both can work here for sure. Next, we have Taunthan. So my goat has made it onto the main team, the mini Goku right here. Again, because he buffs above him, left, right, and below him. So in the graphic that you see right here, he's going to be buffing all of the Gohan units in that picture. He's buffing Ki Restore Speed. Ki Restore Speed is super important in this game mode, so this is helping out a lot. I'm glad he's getting this love right here for ToP. For your core unit, obviously he's going to just be the Taunthan. That's the team is named after him. He's going to be the core unit there. For your boost units, you do have the blue Gohan from Broly's Second Coming. I don't have that guy. Many of you guys might not have that guy, and there's like little to no boost option replacements. If you don't have that guy, you're gonna have to do 3 S tiers if you want that 30%, which is a little bit unfortunate. So in that case, you might have to slide off the mini Goku and put on the healer Goku. You know what I mean? And then after that, you do have the S tier purple Gohan, the Zenkai one. And then for the main team, you have the pseudo healer for Goten. You have the Beast Gohans, all phenomenal units. That Ultra Beast Gohan is probably going to be super attacking every fight. Beast Gohan, the blue one, amazing against powerful opponent, and then the red one, obviously, he's really good too once he gets ramped up. He's a little bit of a slow starter. You're not going to see his full potential until turn 4, which is the only downside to him. Next, we do have the girls team. This team is a very difficult team to run. If you're new to ToP, if you are unsure of what to run for ToP, don't use this team. So this team is mostly just heavily points based. Like they're a very greedy team for points. So most of the time you have to go different options, different routes to go for the absolute most easiest fights, because points is not going to be an issue with this team. You have double Z tier backup units and you have triple S tiers on your main team, right? So you're getting more than that 30% needed boost. Just definitely be very, very cautious with this team. You do have the pseudo healer right there with Kale. It's not gonna like protect you from everything and anything that's gonna come your way. So just be very, very careful with this team. I've never used this team. I don't really hear a lot of feedback about this team. I just know it's a popular team. Next, we have Majin Buu Saga. So I think Doom actually reached out to me and said that we have a user that's using him in the Discord. So I have to reach out to them and see how the team's actually doing for them, because this is a team that I've been skeptical about. But if it's working, then it's working, right? That's all that you need in ToP. Core unit, you do have Fui max HP Z ability buffer. For your boost units, you have Z tier Deborah and S tier Blue Tien. That guy is great. He's great. And then on the main team, you do have the pseudo heals from the yellow 18. You have the support from the Super Saiyan 3. Z ability wise, that red Buhan's probably the best Z ability that you can have on this team for your offenses. And then the Buu duo, those guys, Transcendent Kamehameha, they're essentially the cleanup crew. And then for the last team we're going to talk about is going to be the hybrids. So this is the blast based version first. And you do see the Ultra Beast Gohan up there. I know that guy is a melee type unit, but he fits on both teams effortlessly. Like he doesn't even struggle, right? And then for your boost units, you do have the Z tier green Trunks and the S tier purple Gohan. Again, that Trunks might be someone that's hard for you to have in your possession, so you might have to swap them out. Unfortunately, you don't have a lot of options there, with there only being 4 boost option replacements. So gonna have to bring in 3 S tiers at that point. For the main team, we already talked about the Ultra Beast Gohan. You have Pan as your core unit, HP Z ability buffer, support for Gohans, debuffs for the enemy team, all that good stuff. Blue Gohan instead of the Beast Gohan, the free-to-play one, right? So that actually, I think, brings up a lot of comments / questions. He just works better on the Blast Base team. He has a Blast Base Z ability, whereas the Blue Beast doesn't, and he still is doing a lot of work as he does mow down PO opponents. You have the Ultimate Gohan right there, who's debuffing the middle row and column. You have the Trunks and Vegeta unit, who's just a really good unit overall, and then you have the Revival Gohan. So Revival obviously is going to be good, but if you want to take him out and put in the Ultra Green Gohan, that's definitely more than viable. That Green Gohan will get a guaranteed super attack as long as he's hit with a strike, because he mitigates the strike, gets 100% to his gauge, which is really strong. Next, we have the strike-based version. So as you can see right here, Ultra Beast Gohan is still on this team. You would just swap his strategy over to strike, or well, I think he defaults strike, right? And then main units, or well, core unit, you do have the Pan still for the HP Z ability buffer. For your for your boost, you have Z tier Blue Gohan, S tier Zenkai Purple Gohan. Again, boost options are a little bit limited here. You don't have any Z replacements, so if you don't have that Blue Gohan, you would have to bring in 3 S tiers to get that 30%, which is a little bit unfortunate, but at least there's 2 Zenkai units in there, right? Like there's the buff Trunks and then there's the red Trunks. So when you're picking out your boost units, yes, you want them to be good, have a good kit and stuff like that, but most importantly, you want them to be able to survive, especially since you're bringing them out in the last half of the board. So on the main team, you have Triple Beast Gohan, obviously Red Beast Gohan, great. Ultra Beast Gohan, great. Blue Beast Gohan, great. Fat Goat Tanks providing support. And then that Green Trunks is really good too. I haven't used him yet, but I want to. I've heard the stories, I've heard the legends. So now let's talk about the new units that have been released. We will start off with the Demon King Piccolo, since he's the brand new release. I haven't summoned for him yet. I am going to summon for him, in case you guys are wondering. So he is a melee type. Let's go ahead and look at his max stats. 2,300 for his key restore speed is pretty slow. Obviously, it can go up with friendship rank 10. He does have the blue card and the ultimate. For the first ability, gets 80% to damage inflicted, 20% to damage cut, and 30% to key recovery. So that kind of handles the key recovery issue right off rip. On strike or blast arts hit, restore your health by 1% 3 times, 20% to damage inflicted, and 5% to special move gauge. So that's not bad either, since you're getting that 5% every single turn out of the 4 turns. On special move arts attack, you get 20% special move damage inflicted for 1 turn. On ultimate arts activation, you inflict 20% damage received. Okay, so debuffs on the ultimates. Does have a strike cover change that's health gated by 30%, which is mediocre. Start of the 3rd turn, 3 or more enemies remaining, 20% to own damage inflicted, minus 30% to health restoration for the enemies for 2 turns, and you inflict them with minus 20% to key recovery for 2 turns. What is the... On 3rd turn though? 3rd turn and 3 or more enemies remaining. I feel like that's very like constricted. Like that's a little weird. On receiving an attack on health is 50% or lower, you heal by 5%, 30% to special move gauge, upgrade it to the special move art, or upgrade your special move arts to the ultimate, and you cancel downgrades. Dang, that's it? His ToP kit is kind of buns, bro. Like, there's no way he's competing with Cell. Well, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm wrong in thinking this, or what? And I guess let's take a look at Tambourine. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, he's not regeneration. So still rough. His key restore speed is high though, 2,442. Obviously it's gonna break 2,500 once you get to friendship rank 10. Blue card and the ultimate. 65% to damage inflicted, 15 to cut, 15% to key recovery. Obviously he's going to be pretty fast with that 15%. On strike or blast arts, heal by 1% 2 times, 10% to damage inflicted, and he wants Dragon Ball allies, so that already kind of like kills him. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that Dragon Ball is like the worst tag, it's just not necessarily the best tag. I don't know. I think it's pretty rough. We don't even make a Dragon Ball team. If they release some more units for this celebration, possibly could happen. You're gonna have to just wait and see. Again, like I said prior, things change pretty often, especially when it comes to this game. Has a strike cover change that's health gated by 30%. Again, pretty mediocre. When changing cover multi-target, you restore ally health by 1%. It's pretty big range, but again, health gated by 30%. 10% to key recovery, and you inflict debuffs, minus 10% to key recovery for the enemies. Start of the second turn, allies in range restores health by 2%. That's pretty good. At start of the third turn, allies in range 15% damage inflicted, and you cancel attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. So the best ability is definitely this one right here, where he's healing his allies at the start of the second turn, and it's just a one-time heal at 2%, which isn't necessarily game breaking, right? I'm not too pleased by this for ToP at least. And I guess lastly, let's talk about Tao. So at the very least, this guy can at the very least he can slide on event exclusive, right? He's not necessarily restricted to DB, or I mean, maybe we make a weapon wielder tag in the future. I don't know. Could happen, but key restore speed's not bad. 2,448 at friendship rank 1, has the blue card and the ultimate. 70% to damage inflicted, 10% to special move damage inflicted, 10% cut, and 20% to key recovery. We're getting a lot of percentage-based key recovery buffs for these Dragon Ball units. Start of the turn, you heal yourself by 1% and 5% to special move engage, so you're getting 20% of fight. Start of the third turn, activate special action, so your green card. 20% to special move damage inflicted for 1 turn, 30% to ultimate, 35% to special move gauge, so 55% right now total, right, for one fight. That's pretty good. Cancels attribute downgrade at a normal condition. Before receiving a strike arts, so strike cover change, 30% health gate, unfortunately. On receiving a strike or blast, 5% to special move gauge activates twice. Ooh, okay, a lot of special move farming right here. On strike or blast arts, 10% to next special move arts damage inflicted, and 10% to special move gauge. On special move arts hit, you upgrade it, and you get 25% to special move. Oh my god, he's just farming blue cards. Unironically, I think this guy's better than DKP and Tambourine. Unironically. Wow. But look at the difference between his strike attack and blast attack. That's probably going to be the one thing holding him back from making it onto the event exclusive team. He doesn't have any like strike specific things that he has in his kit though. Like there's no specific like, oh, strike damage inflicted, you need to find a strike, or it's strike or blast right here. So he probably can slide on both teams, honestly. We might just include him on the graphic. But I don't think he's going to make it onto the main team just because of the stat spread. All right, so that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this season's guide. So stay tuned for the part 1 and part 2, which will be coming out shortly. Probably going to be in this following day that this releases, right? And they're probably going to release almost simultaneously. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns. And as always, if you guys appreciate the content, make sure you guys leave a comment and maybe even consider hitting that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later!